point platform. TTPTB. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
It's on our Good Morning Salon. We come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. As you get from we headline stories them today inside the program. Today, the Institute for Governance Reform IGR go conduct about one survey we then do on the economy for Sekadat. I want to welcome inside the studio the Executive Director for the Institute for Governance Reform, we in IGR, Andrew Labale. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yes, Fambudenguna, good morning. It's a pleasure being here.
And same way, so inside the program today, the Independent Media Commission will talk about one technical conference on media governance, management, and media ethics. We for sake of that, we get Ibrahim Barry, Chairman, Independent Media Commission, inside the program. Commissioner, Independent Media Commissioner, beg your pardon. Good morning, welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon. Well, we go begin with Andrew Lavalley. We come on the Institute of Governance Reform as IGR, na local think tank organization. We don't do research over the past year them for give strength to governance, promote accountability, strengthen political governance, and other issues them inside the country. And recently don't pull a survey on the economy. Within this survey debate and how then go for collect the data and what's next after the survey, make we get Andrew Lavalley. Once more, good morning, welcome to the program. Good morning, Salo.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, listeners.
From the introduction, the IGR, Institute of Governance Reform, don't they do research on different areas them for give strength to accountability, political dialogue, and other issues them. And now I don't pull a report on the economy. Before we can look at this report, look at the IGR, the issues them when they do research on and happenings in the institution recently.
So thank you very much. So, we established 10 years ago out of a need for strengthening or bridge that gap between knowledge and policy. We believe, say, we people in Kinde in power, we can always blame them and say they don't want to do what is right. But sometimes they not can get some information for do what is right. So we think IGL decide for do not fulfill that gap, for make information available to people within the driving seat of policy. And too often we can gather citizens, what we would call citizens-driven evidence. Like, for example, how citizens feel about their healthcare, how they feel about elections, how they feel about the economy, how they feel about democracy, how they feel about Bokutin. So now the way that they can bring citizens and voices into the policy making process. So you can see sometimes and they can pull reports on how citizens and feel about them parliamentarians, the MPs, whether they go parliament or they go parliament. Some of them can be unsettling, some of them can be complementary. And too often, depending on how the data go, you will get the praise, you will get the attack. Because we know, say, change normally not to tea party. Change normally can come with through blood and sweat. So where some people can attack, we can really appreciate it with courage, because it can see, say, some people and they actually feel what they do. And we only hope, say, that feeling they translate into something positive, because we intention not to embarrass anybody. We intention are for bring to the fore how people then feel, or how the institutions with the governs citizens, how they are run, and citizens they can bring their suggestions. And in the lead up now to President Building 100 days, where they happen maybe in the next 20 days, we get quite a lot of data we'll get for share, way for really inform the next conversation on the next 5 years, how governance can go. So in effect, Nadan, they really IGR they do.
Now, let me look at the surveys them where IGR don't do in recent times. Among plenty issues them when I decide for pick some of the issues them and do survey on them. How I can reach at a conclusion say, yes, IGR want to look at this particular aspect at this moment.
Well, beyond surveys, we can get every 3 3 months, we get what we call critical perspectives of governance. Critical perspectives are a piece who can reflect on what's in the happen. So you actually spend like 3 months thinking about something and you publish on them. So you see, say this particular survey will do on the economy, on democracy, on the elections. It look at what's in the happen currently. We don't just come up from elections where a lot of people in the consider say it's controversial, the outcome's controversial. This they say this, down they say down they. We they look at the what's in the happen at the sub-region. We don't see a lot of coups in at the sub-region. So to a lot of people in democracy, the reverse. We don't see back over the past 1 month alone, fuel don't increase by about 40%. And then it's deep into people and livelihoods. So all of this, we say, let's get back people and pause, people and opinion, and let's see how they, gather opinion and bring them to, people and within a public policy for conversation. Because, with this, the more people and they complain about, the economy, the more people and they complain about the quality of democracy, the quality of elections, the more it creates a fertile ground like for them upheavals and what they see. So we try for test out for let's see whether Sierra Leoneans are ready for that or with democracy really strong, like how it been done before. So that then they make we do this recent study.
Okay, so doing this economic status survey, we should see 87% of Salon people no glad with the country. Take we listen and view them, the first step them we IGR go through, forget this percentage.
So thank you very much. So what would they do? They always do what they call randomization. With now randomization, now a process would they take for every Sierra Leonean be given a fair chance for be spoken to. Some people, we they talk to 1,200 people across the country. Some people can criticize you, say, how you go talk to 1,200 people and no more out of 7-8 million people, they say no, that not the opinion, then they. Normally we can interpret survey like way they cook soup. You don't need for taste all the soup. You just need for mix and fine one. You take small, then you go know whether salt pass mark or salt do. So now based now that would do. So even with we research how they send at the field, we get procedures that what we call random walk. The person they get discretion, not to either decide who they talk to. We get what we call machine-based selection. From IGR, we just talk say this now the areas, the enumeration areas. The way you go house one, you get the list of people in the household. Then you enter on a tablet, now the machine they tell you say, talk to Musa or talk to this person. Yeah. Then you jump 5 houses or 10 houses as the case may be. On the left, you talk to this person. So now based on that, they will get really a scientific process for how get the information. Like if you say any side we staff work, then get what we call a global positioning system. They get a GPS coordinate saying I have been there. So any survey IGR publish, we can actually show a map of who side all the data come up for let you see how spread it is. So none of the methodology will take for produce.
So in terms of this economy, when you talk about economy, so many things will go kind of people in mind. Availability of the service, availability of finance and all. Waiting to focus on exactly. Now waiting people are able to eat 3 times a day, or when are the key area of this particular survey?
So we asked 2 questions on the economy. So the first question, how you see the country in economy, some people they call it the corporate business they go. The second question, how you see the country they go, whether the country they go in the right direction or the wrong direction. We realize, say, 87% of people and we talk to, they talk, say, the economy is either bad or very bad. So you have 87%. And because of that one day, you get about 72% of Sierra Leoneans where they say the country is going in the wrong direction. We will look down, they will look at other data, Afrobarometer data, we don't collect over the past 12 years. Now, only Ebola term, 80% of people in the talk say the country go in the wrong direction.
We can look at the results or the reports properly. But again, earlier you talk about the sample size and who say una collect. Say una get a system where they show who say una getting data there. So for this particular research, now who say and who say
now across the country. So statistics Sierra Leone get to take called the sampling frame. So you actually randomize, you select from the sampling frame. When they say research, one of the ways for control bias, now where they limit your discretion. And the other way you collect data, you limit them discretion. The side different from think tanks like we and the media. The media can be purposeful. So until I talk, say, I go do the vox pop. You actually go talk, say, I go talk to this person, I go talk to this person here. You collect 5, 10 people. Whereas, when they do opinion surveys, for let it be accurate, when I say accurate, it means this particular methodology I will choose. If you do 100 times, there is a 95% chance. When they say 95% confidence interval, there's a 95% chance say this result and I they get back. So now that method they apply into gold standard, we applies around the world by institutions.
So according to you, you say some of the people want to engage, say the country not go in the right direction, economic at then give in-depth gives you something where they point at, or then just say that verbally.
The research really do now for that we don't do a context analysis. So the UNAB start with, like, for example, the fuel price increase, over the past 1 month alone, you see fuel price increase by 40%. So that one day alone, it gets a knock-on effect on prices across the country. And you get a lot of concern about transportation, we will get from another survey we've been doing. So people in the talk say, because of this, I find it difficult even for go to work. You can see now like where people can queue for transportation. They can get long queues them. So one of the things that they really undermine a lot of services now the cost of transport. How can kids go to school? How can I go for healthcare services? How I can even go down my farm? So we see say that increase of fuel price will lead to increase in essential commodities. It deep into livelihoods. So that one day, so we'll not ask somebody specifically. I mean, na ogri not get or na granite not get, but generally how your economy is.
So looking at this survey we do on economy, another angle they say why IGR decide for do survey on economy. We already the majority of the population will say things are hard. They don't hear
not to just economy.
And it come with me question, please. They don't hear the issues we other government officials don't they give in the area of Ukraine and other war them. So the economy are not anything strange. Literally everybody know that.
Exactly. So because of that, but before this time, Sapti, if I ask you, what is the percentage of people that they feel exactly that way the way they feel? You can't tell. So what they do for data like this, they do trend analysis so they know how bad the economy is. But just to correct you, we're not purposefully pinpoint the economy for run a study. There is a controversial elections, and I only hope we can actually take some time for see the results of the survey results to come on the elections, how people feel about them. Because some people you see say every day there is this nervousness, this restiveness, neck for declare for publish data. So you get like last week Monday said. We can get this concern about demonstration and then so big some down one day we decide for look at the elections. We look at democracy, whether people really get faith in democracy or they not get faith in democracy at all.
Continue for stay with we inside the program we look at the survey process and also the outcome of the survey we wanna do. You listen to the executive director for the Institute for Governance Reform, IGR, Andrew Labali. The inside program, they talk about one survey we didn't do on the economy, which according to the reports, should say 87% of Salon people not glad about the current status of the economy. The program, Good Morning, Salon, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM.
Okay, and inside the program now, they come in with we other studio guests. We're Ibrahim Bari, Commissioner, Independent Media Commission. We therefore can talk about an engagement we then do this BNTM with some station manager them na the country. Well, as everybody you know, the Independent Media Commission gets the mandate for regulate all media institutions for ensuring they uphold the ethics and professionalism, and also the Independent Media Commission of Salon and they get a responsibility for get license to people we can apply if they want to go into any form of media broadcasting. How they don't do the work so far. At this time, I welcome in Commissioner from IMC, Ibrahim Bari. Once more, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
So before you start for take listener and viewer about the engagement, let people know how IMC don't they engage on things that we get to do the mandates, especially for media institution upholding professionalism and ethics.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I want to tell we listeners and say the IMC is not only a regulatory body that is to regulate the media, but we are also there to build the capacity of the media. If you go to the IMC Act 2020, Part 3, Section 11E, under the objects of the Commission, you can see say part of our job is to promote communication and media research. IGR is talking about research and other things. IMC also should be doing the same and promote communication and media research and development of human resources for the advancement of the media industry throughout Sierra Leone. So based on this, the IMC, with the support of the Chinese embassy in Freetown, we organized this technical training for 25 community radio stations. We invite some other newspapers then, because why community radio stations? We are very excited with democracy right now. So we go to the community radio because the community radio is a sample of a grassroots type of media.
Okay, Commissioner, before you go in depth on the engagement recently, take we listen and view them through how IMC don't they regulate institutions and so far. Which will be your assessment in terms of professionalism?
I'm sorry to say it's still down.
Why?
Yeah. Well, a lot of reasons. Number one, most of the media houses we didn't come for register. Of course, we are mandated to register them if they meet the criteria. But when they come with high esteem, very enthusiastic, then they go through the, regulations what they put. But no sooner we give them the license, then begin deteriorate, and we identify one reason as the management, then get problem with management. Now, I make this particular training, I will focus on governance issue, how to govern media houses. For example, the board. You see some radio stations they not get bored. In theory they get bored, but in practice they don't get bored. Or if they get the board self, radio station dinner, for example, Calbaton, okay, one of the board members in Kenema or Cambia, or maybe even out overseas, So there's a lot of managerial and governance issues, plus lack of resources. Most of them, I don't know if not the economic situation of the country, then they go through hardship, enable actually fund the activities properly. Then capacity building as well.
Again, you talk about the issue of board members or talking about constituting what in need for be done at a station. These are criteria we need for be reached before we register any institution. Yes. So what in go wrong when board member go the station go in a Calbaton board member they can?
Again, when they can register, for example, we get the applications committee, and they go through the application committee. I'm a member of the application committee. We live in when they come, just like where they come for job interview, smartly dressed, with all their papers, all their documents, and they will even come with some board members, But then we don't get the license, after a few time, you see they don't begin to deteriorate. How will they know that? Now who can go on inspection?
So now they wait till they inspect, or rather when they apply on for do you
check if you meet the criteria,
for no if them present in black and white now the reality within a ground.
Will they go through? Believe in me, sometimes even then certificates, let's say the credentials would even verify. And even if somebody say, oh no, the manager in America, for example, is sending me, will they say, no, let you power of attorney through a legal system. Will they get all the documents in there? But not sooner they don't begin operate. I don't know what thing they go on, then begin deteriorate. So we can go on inspection at the time when they discover all the loopholes there.
Okay, continue for the with we in name na Ibrahim Bari in a commissioner, Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone. They therefore talk about engagement we then do with some station them this BNTM, but don't they give you update but our IMC don't they regulate media institution them. The program Good Morning Salon they continue and now inside the program we they go for a break.
People when I go take your money and go all time network problem. What's me go do now?
Gonna any Salon Commercial Bank branch, kiosk or sub-agent them, all about na the country. Then get the money service business. You go able take money where they send for you na MoneyGram, Western Union, Small World, and Ria Money, where they over 150 country them. With the Ria and Small World, this na for we brother and sister there where they oversee. Then can able send money direct na Salon Commercial Bank accounts. Na Salonia, like they one day we want bill us, or they one day we want kawaka, or for support them family them. Then can they oversee and put money inside them bank accounts.
How for do all this if I dey Obayanda?
Easy, me brother. All you for do, now for download the Rare and Small World app them and put your personal information them. Now you that. Member say you forget valid ID card and the correct code where the person send for you for go take you money.
I want send money for me uncle upline.
No worry. Salon Commercial Bank column Salon Link, where the local transfer and Million Salon Commercial Bank money, where anybody can go na any Salon Commercial Bank branch, kiosk, and then sub Salon Commercial Bank agents there. Any sign at the country and tell the teller say you want send money upline. Then go do your transaction and give you code where you go send to your uncle. But your uncle forget valid ID card and the code where they give you, send and to them so it go take you money. Salon Commercial Bank they look for agents them where they do money transfer for partner with them.
Waiting at the sub agent.
Sub agents na people that will get business. We want for do money transfer service for Salon Commercial Bank. This service will give you good commission. So go na Salon Commercial Bank and go register or call them na this number here 077-714-792. Then go talk to you fine one.
Salon Commercial Bank, delivering value. People when I go take your money and go.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue from that break though they come over to the studio guests or they continue with the commissioner from the Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone, Ibrahim Bari. We don't talk about some of the things with some institutions don't they fall short on. Mr. Bari, over to you. We talk about some of the challenges one I don't noticed and some media institution and broadcast to be specific. You really talk about what area of capacity, but we go too in depth into that.
Yes.
You can try and highlight in that particular area there.
Yes, I mean, they tell you when they come, we go with them very, very seriously. We even ask them if we want to get toilet facilities, just imagine. Whether they want to get fighting equipment, just imagine. I'm just giving an example. Even the dimension of the space, all we go through. But when we can go on real inspection now, we meet up all that here. But the capacity we talk about now, number one, and the structure. Then they come with a board, and they say, Mr. So-and-so, board member, they come with them documents. But then, as I say, go, they meet a lot of problems. Then funding, even with asking them budget, they tell us I get 100 million, they give you a very beautiful financial planning or whatever. They scrutinize all that. But then when they begin get problem. So I make this particular training here, we've been doing for cover 5 areas,
Okay. So before you talk
training.
about the training, we don't find out some of these lapses and from what you say, it's like most of the broadcast institutions they fall short of some of the entire. What IMC can do? What an immediate step of action?
Well, of course, we will go or we recommend remedies for you because say they renew your license every year. So we wait for you, like road transport, where they can give you ticket, you not repay. Then they wait for you to go renew your annual registration or license, So where they can come at the time because the act put procedure for all that. But before that, we can engage them, we talk to them, we can call them, in fact, let them come. But most of them actually need capacity building.
Okay, when they come back to you, we can tell you more about the engagement we want to do 25 community radio station owner or manager them. The program Good Morning Salon they continue. That's the commissioner from the Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone, Ibrahim Bari. Inside the program now, they come over to all their studio guests Angola Valley. But before we bring you in, let we take an issue we get the same touch of which you can talk about as we report and then we go out there and talk to some rider together and people in the country also then say the reason we make cost of living as alone they go up day by day now because the country money not get better value again. Then people are talk this inside one interview with Radio Democracy where they may talk about the cost of living in the country and then talk more about this issue to reporter Jaffa Mans Davis.
Country look hard, the economy not stable, and things say they go up every day, Then they make the money self not the value. So like even if you were like 1 million before they make it down because every day things say they go up. The money not the value, the coins not the value, and things say they had every day. Well, what's me think about the country economy? I don't tell the people, let put pressure to the people, like that they suffer too much with it, man. They work no day, job no day. Only that's all they see. And they get 10,000 a day, they get 1,000. From that today, we drink water. Today, money. Let the people put pressure, bang, the government puts on more, let's see the situation, let you organize. But if you don't do for that, Imona, enough funny.
The country, Tranga, rice and market will be the buy the next to that. Now we go buy, they say a million. A rice will not get, woman, they not get work no day for people. Rice are pass to survive and bread. The bread back will be the buy trade. 15,000 for pound, now 30,000, 35. So now that make we say the country in Tranganess, Imona we take go. Let them try change.
Well, but now in the country in economy very, very difficult, my brother, I'll not tell you that. Because for example, we all know see the country in economy they move more by the business people and as we look at the way how things they go is skyrocketing. And the more the taxation on the business people, then now we, the consumers, them, when they go by units, now we they suffer. Because obviously, let's say for sell for they're able for pull the money back, let them no one at loss. So, and one thing where I find out they make the country economy, they go like they go so, and the fuel crisis too they get. The cost of fuel per liter is very, very exorbitant for now, right? And if you go that way, then I feel things will always become more difficult because, for example, let's make us say the fuel crisis. We all know say when you buy your goods, come what may you meet if not even if not the ports you go for go clear. You therefore deal with electricity. That's 1, 2. For transport and come now the warehouse, you need transportation. And the more the fuel go up, now the more the people themselves get them to cars them. They make them very, very high for delivery services. So I think saying one party is in that, right? So when they ask me, I think I'm your honest opinion on that.
Well, for me, the economy, what you may think, if you get what they do, also you be say where money is, you go do what they do, and they're okay for you because not only Africa, other countries, and they be say things not okay with them. A lot, even overseas countries, things not okay with them because you know we expect say how things were there 5 years before, they were like 10 years don't come now, like time don't change. You expect for that things be the same. The more how you see things they change, that's how economy they change. It's not going to be the same. So if they do what they do, monitor you don't go for what they defend, it will be okay for you. At least they adjust.
So from 5 years or it go up or it don't?
It go up, it change. But it's not going to be the same because even if you go overseas countries before, how things be there, so it is right now. Then things change for them.
Because this is not a thing for yourself because the country economy is not fine. And things they go in the country. So what's that? Who are the layman there? Who they suffer? So especially because right now all the fare don't go up. And then the main importance of the country. Because once the fare don't go up, so all they go up. Ghana make Ghana free buyer. They ask they see fare don't go up. And it did man. And Ghana now what they make now we don't country. We buy they see the fare don't go up. And right now work now they. So by the small thing what they get now we don't sign now. And to by the fare. Whatever I buy fare, I they able make money. And we buy fare now. The rest now what fare don't go then 30,000 so. I say work no day because the money all we possibly work per day just they go buy fare back nothing able go to our house and I want thing for us.
Well, the country that's not the country because everything just shoot up. There's a lot they shoot up. Now just instant. So the country had just it's not but the country had.
Okay, well, that's a view of some people in Afriton. We believe, say, at this time, the country had, the economy business really challenging. So over to you, Andrew Lavalley. You're still here for talk on the same issues. Waiting your opinion about the view of people we just listened to. So
thank you very much. So exactly waiting then people in the talk now exactly the view that they were captured. So you can see say one of the reasons why we aggregate their opinion and bring them to policy actors now for let them act on them. So there could be many, pathways then for act on them. So you can see say if it is difficult for let people and go work because transport don't increase. We see say under COVID, for example, some people in them they work from home, some people in them they work from, they work like 3 days a week, can't work today then. So do we need to have measures or the ration the days that people in the go because of the situation? We've been getting like then quick action economic projects then. So especially for at-risk young people, because waiting can normally happen. Young people where then tolerance and then patience really, really small. And where then like it talks an idle mind that's in the devil in workshop. So there should be like targeted interventions. The survey not show that they just say it's not just about bringing a heap of information, but actually now policy gurus and for the discourse and how do you invest in youth at risk? In the longer term, really, Sierra Leone we get for begin the discuss this situation, whether we get for focus on aid or we get for focus on results, because the issue about where you don't become too much of an aid-driven country, where something happen, any side it affects you exponentially. So now the thing and
you said the survey not look at it in depth or not do in-depth analysis, but for person with the listen, for make a survey result be used by institutions where matters for solving economic challenge, like you talk about the Minister of Finance, the Bank of Salon, or you think about international partners, the IMF, the World Bank, the survey need for be punchy and target a particular aspect. Saying the survey is not in-depth or not do in-depth analysis, why IGR decide not to do an in-depth analysis on this?
No, but every research gets in questions and getting scope.
Okay, now.
Let me finish, Musa. You asked me a question. The essence of this survey was to find out what's the effect of the economy on citizens. Which you talk about now diagnostics. So if you want, I can do a diagnostics. Well, see what are the solutions, what are the pathways. This survey, it was quick and dirty, not to that in scope.
Now, if you talk about the economy big and it gets variables. Then you get inflation, you get money supply, exchange rates, you get production, you get foreign direct investment, interest rates, taxation, and other things. Then why IGR not look at particular one of them here and look at them in depth rather than ask a question, general question, how the economy?
So if you ask any one of them people and they want to do the vox pop, even as a journalist, you tell them about foreign direct investment, you talk about exchange rates, you talk about inflation. In fact, what you will get is a lot of don't knows. So when you frame a research question, you get for look at your respondent. So how go frame this question in a way when the respondent understand the situation and respond to them. So what they talk about, like somebody will get a technical expertise in governance, in budget, and do analysis on denting. So not to denting.
But if IGR take the raw data from them and when then they talk, then put them in a form work node, that could be tied to employment. They tell you say transport DI, they tell you the tax with taxation. How now they put that into context for problem solving?
I wish you can read this report. Because wait, if you read this,
no, for listeners, because not all man don't read the report.
Because I mean, if you've been reading, you will know say the context of the report. In fact, the report. Let's just read the first paragraph.
No, it's not for me. Now for the listeners. No, I make it explain. Not for
because
me.
All down the way you talk so all day in the report because it talks why IGR not do this. If you actually read the report,
I take them by one way talk about in-depth analysis. Say we are not do them in this report.
No, but in-depth analysis not mean say you not go into right from the get-go the context on the inflation, all the inside the report.
Okay, continue for the with Winner 10 follow go for a break. In Nemna Angola Valley, in the Executive Director, Institute of Governance Reform. And they talk about an economic status survey where they do, we should say 87% of the country population say the country tranga. The program Good Morning Salon they continue.
UTB, Union Trust Bank, the game changer don't come. As we the lead, others they follow. And just with your mobile phone, you go transfer and receive money with ease, speed, and safety. UTB don't make it possible for collect money na ATM machine without the ATM card. Now that we call cardless ATM. You, the UTB customer, go send money to anybody and deposit and collect the money na any UTB ATM panel without any ATM card. All it can do now for just enter the reference code and collect the money. The UTB copper in safe day. With this UTB copper, any UTB customer can transfer copper with a mobile phone to anybody up to 5 billion loans. And with the reference code, the person can go to any UTB branch and collect the copper. Union Trust Bank, we there for you.
Elections done. Time for move on. You and me? Only I want fish, per mine, and 5 corporates. You are not for less meal.
Una we only sharp size so. Me that the guys are all thing don't go up. The rest na 6 10.
Hey, mommy, what are you sell give that woman fine just now? Why me own price for different?
Yes, because now una be the dance per week, and so we all do equal now.
So now politics make you know they talk to your own customer fine too. And you ask you price for me.
You go to think and they sister Kaya, what you want?
You don't see now? Why would they allow politics for divide we? Fanama we not see we self like one farm will beyond politics. All we self, come on now. We all na Saloman. The rain where they come na the southeast, na the same rain they fall down na northwest. So for the sake of we country and we picking them tomorrow, we are make we forgive and forget. Come together for Mama Salon in better one.
This message will come out from the Promoting Peace in Electoral Process in Sierra Leone, where Action A, Center for Coordination of Youth Activity, CCYA, Society for Radio Democracy 98.1, and CBO they implement with support from Start Fund.
Because we don't want to serve for the only intensing power we serve for politics don't start. Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
This is a brand new opportunity with different flavor for grow the private sector business with the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1.
The private sector na part of the economy when an individual them they run the company for profit and not to the state they control them.
Let's get it on.
The program is today listening to the Good Morning Salon with the country from 98.1 FM. Inside the program, quick with the country Andrew Lavalley again, as before we go for that break, keeping the talk on the survey we then do on the economy, elections and democracy. Now, Salon, we, according to them, the survey results should see 87% of Salon people say the economy bad and 72% say the country to go the wrong way in terms of managing the economy. Andrew Lavalley, for listeners, them go like for no, would them because if you don't say it's a random sampling survey, but would they want to capture inside this random sampling
survey? Everybody, but just that is equal number of men and women. It's 50% women, 50% men. 75% of respondents are Muslims, 25% are Christians. In fact, we think it's normally interesting. Where they come with survey result, they talk is 25% of which respondents are Christians, 75% are Muslim. So that's okay. 50% men, 50% women. So that's okay. But when you talk, say, the economy good, the economy bad, then the researcher begin to become biased. So normally it's about how people then feel about data. I know it's difficult. Even me, somebody tell me, say, 20 people and talk, say, you're ugly. I'm not going to feel good about them because the person does see the other information. But we therefore look at them. So I think so this will bring me very well in the next theme we'll look at the elections. You know, say the election be very controversial. We end with the election where you get different views from different observers then. You get the national elections watch, we talk say the the presidential election, we get inconsistencies, statistical inconsistency, and we get European Union, then talk say there was problem in the tabulation. And so that view there was echoed by UK, France, and US even go to the point of saying, let them get an international committee like for investigate what happened. But apart from that, you get two agencies there, especially from the continent, the African Union, ECOWAS, then talk say the election be clean. So now that one day, but Sierra Leone, before this time, with democratic aspiration be high. Across Africa, Sierra Leone are the third in all we Afrobarometer data, where they look at people in satisfaction with democracy. So the question we'll ask yourself, don't forget about all of them people in it. Lord, ask now Sierra Leone people who actually voted. How do you feel the election went? So we asked a number of questions. The first question we asked, you feel say that vote, that result where they announced, now so people in the vote. And Musa, if they asked me just now about technicality. If you ask technical questions, you actually get them lost. When they do surveys, you actually get for left the technicality. You make sure you deconstruct the information in ways that people don't understand. So ask that question. You feel say the way the result when they announce, now so people then vote, you have 62% of Sierra Leoneans where they say, yes, me feel say now so people then vote. That means say you get about 40%, close to 40%. We talk saying me not think so people then vote. That number there is really high enough. But we try for deconstruct, for go through that number, that 40%, that 38% we talk down there. In fact, you have 13% we talk say Dr. Samora Kamara win with more than 55%. In fact, you have another 12% where they talk say both Dr. Samora Kamara and President Bio, they not get.
And Valley, apart from the view of the 87% of the continent population in economy.
Okay, I think say I will talk about the elections now.
The yellow focus on the survey on the economy. So in your words, apart from the view of people, waiting you go say it speak to the reality of waiting people.
No, I don't talk about the economy. I will just want, if you really allow me, I will just want.
They deal with time, we'll get other issues everywhere. So my question was, in your words about the economy, apart from the people and who you talk to, waiting you go say in reality on the ground.
It's really not my opinion. We're not in Canada for share our opinion. If I want to share my opinion, I can just go write a piece. But I actually want to share a scientific data. I don't want to really mix out with my opinion. I can mix out with analysis. But this actually shows that the economy is bad and very bad.
But you say for people are test if not true or lie.
I mean, how you feel about the economy right now?
No, the question goes to you, not to me, please.
Continue
with
Andrew Lavalley. They talk about the one report where IGR do, and the report gets for do with the economy, elections, and democracy. We don't talk about the economy when we come back to look at the elections and democracy.
Thank you.
The program Good Morning Salon in the country from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Ibrahim Barry, Commissioner Independent Media Commission. But quick before we come to them, we go with according to President Bio, for make any country develop, that country they get for invest on human capital development. He talked this in one public lecture where he do at the American University in Washington on the topic building a prosperous and secured future through human capital development. The Australian example, as he say, he glad for this lecture at the university because he say now from the university he get in leadership quality. For more on this, we join Kabia.
Inside 1997, the President Julius Maada Bio bin start in degree course na the American University and later been do in postgraduate na the same university in international relations. Also, he be complete in study na the American University inside 2002. As we for give back to this university, make the President Julius Maada Bio do all one public lecture na the American University with the theme Building a Prosperous and Secured Future Through Human Capital Development. The Sierra Leone example. The President Julius Maada Bio been start first for talk about how he feel for making this public lecture na the American University.
I will start by thanking you, and Madam President, and members of the board and faculty of the School of International Studies for putting together this great lecture. I would also like to thank each and every one of you who has come today to be part of this engagement. Your presence here is testament to your commitment to international affairs, your dreams, and the incredible potential each of you hold. It is a riveting opportunity to address such a diverse and dynamic group of people from different backgrounds, fields, and persuasions. Standing before you in these hallowed walls, where top leaders of past, present, and future converge, I am acutely aware of the transformative journey of learning that unfolds within these walls. I am a testament to that. This institution symbolizes the relentless pursuit of knowledge, the endeavor to refine perspectives, and the audacity to challenge and enrich worldviews we hold.
In continue say, the leadership quality way in get and don't show na salon, na from the American University in say, in get
When we step into an institution like this, we pledge to view the world through refreshed and curious eyes, to welcome opposing views, not as threats, but as gateways to understanding. Indeed, I'm sure that everyone here, but especially from the School of International Service, will agree that there is no greater honor than dedicating oneself to the service of humanity. As I stand before this August gathering, I'm transported to a time of rigorous intellectual pursuits and fervent aspirations that marked my years at this esteemed institution. From 1997 to 2002, I cannot overstate the American University's impact on my post-military leadership journey. Thank you, AU. Reconnecting with fellow alums and revisiting the rich academic tenets and principles that served as the bedrock of my education, I'm reminded of the priceless value of an education that seamlessly blends knowledge with pragmatism. I learned here the intrinsic worth of being prepared to serve the global community, not just as a leader, but as a harbinger of peace, a bridge builder fostering understanding amidst the myriad complexities of our contemporary world.
The President Keyon say, for make any country develop, that country they in say, for invest more by human capital development.
Reflecting upon my recent journey through the winding trails of Sierra Leone's election landscape, the profundity of human capital is clear to me. Amidst the liveliness of towns, the tranquility of villages, and the resilient spirit echoing in every corner of my nation, it is easy to see that the most important tool for sculpturing a prosperous and secure future, the authentic heartbeat of innovation and the driving force behind every nation's progress is human capital. Madam President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, every leader dreams of a legacy. In my time as president of Sierra Leone, I have envisioned a legacy built on the foundation of human capital development. Such a focus is not merely a reflection of my personal experiences, though they are profound. Rising from humble beginnings, thanks to the determination of my mother, a peasant farmer of blessed memory, who was not formally educated, but instilled in me the transformative power of education. This morning, I went to her gravesite because I knew I was coming to AU, just to say, thank you, Mommy. You did not go to school, but you made me go to school, and I am the leader that you made, but you never enjoyed the fruit of your hard work.
Now, for sake of this, make the president say, from when he take office inside 2018, in government don't make human capital development as one part in main priority area them.
My government understands the dynamics of today's prevailing world and has chosen to embrace its opportunities. For this reason, I made human capital development the priority plank of my government in my first 5 years as president. Sierra Leone is a nation with a tumultuous past, but we have moved beyond our history and made remarkable strides towards peace and stability, thanks to our commitment to human capital development. Human capital development encompasses various initiatives to enhance individuals' skills, knowledge, and well-being, promoting socio-economic progress and ensuring long-lasting peace and security. My government's priority focus on human capital development is hinged on education, gender equality, youth empowerment.
President Julius Maada Bio end up tell thank you to the American University for the opportunity we incident Giam for making do this public lecture and say in government will continue for invest more per human capital development where this is say now way for say and bring more development come na the country. For Radio Democracy, Kabia the reports.
Use cement when a superior quality. Cement where they give you value for your money. Cement where they settle your wahala where you can get pan cement business. Cement where they show you the tkanganess usai in matter. Cement where meets international standard. And that's not Dangote 42.5 R grade 3 export land limestone cement. When a good quality and best cement na the country. You know, see when me building Timap Tickets and Tranga, Dangote 42.5 R grade cement, na the highest grade pan cement, where you know the fan no side for buying na the country. No say you deserve the best quality grade cement, where then test and confirm say na the best. Not make them tell you, not settle for less. Buy Dangote 42.5 R grade cement for pull yourself pan kotat, losses and wahala. Dangote 42.5 R grade cement na the best among the rest. Baby, you don't hear the other samba where GT Bank get for we?
Wow, now wetin GT Bank get for we?
Na GT Bank no more can do am. You know Yegi say GT Bank they give free airtime or data? Just listen to this. Anytime where you go collect money, whether send for you via real money or even MoneyGram service, now any of the GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank, they give you free airtime or data. It tell like you know Yegi good. I say
the program Good Morning Salon they continue, and this time we come to the commissioner who come out from the Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone, Ibrahim Barry. Now over to the engagement we wanna do with 25 community radio station owner or manager them. We really trigger this meeting where MC Totam Fitzgerald owner for meet with the set of people here so where they manage broadcasting institution them.
We are conscious of our mandate, as I said, for building the capacity of the media. Number two, during our inspection and our research, the result was very bad. Can you imagine 85% of community radio stations not get proper board? We didn't say board, and the head, and everything for any organization, because the board and they set the policies and they oversees the functions and the work of the station. So because of this information we'll get, which is although we don't get much resources, we approach the Chinese embassy and thankfully then help with organize this one whole day program that we focus on community radio stations because of the nature of the grassroots nature where they get, so they did at the community. And we give them training in 4 or 5 areas.
Okay.
Very, very important. Number one, we talk about the governance issue. How them for go back and make sure then strengthen the governance issue, especially the board. Anybody who not active, let them pull them. Sometimes I can understand.
That you mean the board member then?
Yes. They can see this person a big man in the community. We know I'm pull them, but the person not the function. Tell them say no. If you know the function, we wanna bring other person with the function. I mean say pass a big section chief or big person in the community. You know how the community set up the especially in the rural areas, Then we talk about also how for prepare them for digitalizations, we are talking about adapting to technology. Okay. Sometimes if you go to the radio stations, then they are still backward. So they prepare their mind for moving to digitalization. Tell them, you know what, you need to move from this way of doing things. You need to improve. Okay. Then ethics, which is very important. We also train them on ethics. We get the IMC media code of practice. Although they get the code, but they don't read them. So we tell them about the code. It will be fair. It will be impartial. For attack people and so for all the media ethics we will all know. So we tell them about that as well. So in general, they try for prepare these community radio stations, for let them participate in the general pushing the country go forward. Not left them behind, and then get a huge following. By the way, a huge following.
So the one they want to engage you 25 now then fall short, or not just bring them all together?
Well, not to them fall short. We just bring them all together, with some newspapers and because of the budget we'll get, we will bring everybody, but we say that would take at least certain community radio stations that we will start with. But this is like continuous programming.
So this meeting anyway give chance to the different manager they are, or the one them with their own broadcasting institution for letting tell now when some of the challenge. You talk about capacity, you talk about funding and all. When are some of the easy way then give?
Well, first of all, let's tell you about resources. Okay, because even sometimes why don't they maintain somebody on the board? We know
active.
Now because maybe they give small thing, it help them somehow. So because of that, they want to maintain the person.
What about the situation who say a particular radio station registered as community, but at the end of the day, it's on private. People they run on as private. Who now look at issues like this within them meeting also and find way for rectify?
Yes, with the monitor, if you violate the license we'll give you, definitely you are a defaulter. Will come after you. You have to go strictly by the category we'll give you. If you are a community radio, you should know you are a community radio. If you're in a faith-based radio station or commercial radio station, we get the categories.
So what's next after this training here?
Well, we get for go sit them back and see what we don't learn from them, and we plan for do more training and more also monitoring. Because you train them, you give them the information, you give them all the necessary thing they need to know, but the implementation are a different thing. So we get to go back and see whether they have benefited from this training or not.
So how the important way people will say if IMC really want to do their work, engaging the station manager or head of the broadcasting institution are one. What about the workers them within the institution? Yeah, because most of the station manager not go tell you the reality where they happen at the ground. Like how you say, we don't can apply, they can say so many nice things in black and white, but we wanna go out there in reality. Not to wait and can present on initially, can then at the actual ground of the media institution.
Well, the only way we will capture that now during our tours and inspection tours. We can go on inspection tours.
And how often I can do that?
Well, not frequently, but they know see where they come. Okay. And it can be random. So always thinking down their toes. Okay. Also because you get some financial implication. We will the worker throughout the country almost every week or every 2 weeks. Go easy, but they know see where they come, and also the employees them get right for report. For example, we ask about NACIT, are you paying your staff NACIT? We even check how much they pay them, your voucher, or how many staff do you get, how much do you pay them, are they below the minimum wage, or that thing they always can check. Okay.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Ibrahim Barry, Commissioner na Independent Media Commission, the program. Now, good morning, Salon with the country from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We continue to look at more issues inside the program.
And inside the program now, they go to the Anti-Corruption Commission. As we for reduce poverty in the country, this make the Anti-Corruption Commission, National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, and other body them, they implement a productive social safety net and youth unemployment project. We make the project coordinator for grievance redress mechanism project at the Anti-Corruption Commission. Patrick Monrovia say World Bank don't give about $42 million for let government able implement this project. Well, Patrick Monrovia talk more about this issue to we reporter Mastan Swire.
The PSSNY in the Productive Social Safety Net Youth Employment. Now, an extension of the project we be new trade, we then call the SSN. The SSN have been a social safety net. The PSSNY don't get other additions, add a little bit more to within the SSN they provide. The project gets various components. The first component, as we say, the cash transfer, the Caribbean trade. They will call that cash transfer self gets other arm associated with it now. Not to just give cash, but they also go to what we call the economic inclusion. That means not to just make them give money you eat, for example, for eat, for do your basic needs, but also to provide the economic inclusion partner that they will provide money for you now so that you invest, so that you not go just to eat, but you get something in case the project closes, you get something for depend on. So that means you empower the people, you empower them. Other one and they bring needs for the community. Like we say, if the road and the bill, of course, by the end of the project, we expect say road network will improve in the community we choose to do road. So depending on what the project they bought and what that they do, the community now will determine the particular impact and impression they will create by the community.
So what are the aspects they are so we possible for qualify for benefits from this project?
This project still gets the unconditional cash transfer. Unconditional means say you not get any condition for fulfill. As long as you fall within a particular category, like you're very old or incapacitated for anything for yourself, you can get the cash. That means you don't need for work for them. You don't need for work, you don't need for provide anything in support. Whereas this one, the condition are now, you get what you call, for example, the LIPW. That are just one of the areas where you get to do something. LIPW means the labor intensive public work. In most community based, you belong to a community and communities get what we call a felt need and when I come together desiring for solve then needs the way the community gets. We're very desperate. For example, some communities can decide for do road, for build and road periodically in the season. So they come together, they form something like a small group, not like an association, but just a group so that they get an executive, mark who that they can work per day. By the end of the day, then provide money for them. They will provide money for making get tools, implements for do the work. And also, if you can you work, they mark you, then pay you. Then the project can provide some resources for them.
So that's then they support this project and what's the amount?
The main funder for the project now, the World Bank. World Bank to provide $42 million initially. But now normally it can grow according to how impressive the project implementation appears. And the other agency will provide a lot of support again to ACC and other components of the project like UNICEF. From time to time, other agencies can come in, like what they do the last project, we get EU can come in at some point, the British aid can come in at some point, but the primary funder of the project now World Bank with $42 million.
Which role will ACC get for play for implement this project?
The ACC gets one very important one, what they call the grievance redress. Grievance redress means say you give opportunity to people for make them get their voice heard in case they're not satisfied with the provision of the service. Grievance, of course, you know that we all know that grievance. Grievance means say you're not glad you get something with the born you, something where you dissatisfied about. So we therefore listen to them, then make them complain to we, and if they complain, get merit for being investigated by anti-corruption. For example, that the main anti-corruption system, we always go refer them to the anti-corruption and the main anti-corruption for handler. For example, they're supposed to give money on the time for give that time they pass, the administrative, we can refer them to NAPSA or any of the other partners who depend on the PSSNY. So we get various partners. It can be council. We get one part of our way, and now we expect that the council is there for do. But for now, the Freetown City Council, the pilot. We get the other part of the youth project, the youth empowerment, NACOM, that National Youth Commission they do. Then the other one, the Ministry of Youth they do.
So which areas then these projects here should be target?
We expect it for be now every district in the country. Just that, of course, not to all the component within all of the districts at the same time. For example, they expect say the unconditional cash transfer we don't do in 16 districts before, get for really like 9 districts. But NACSA, and they get for determine the district specifically, they're not make that determination yet. We get other partners, for example, Statistics Review. Now they get the population and the characteristics of the population at the country. So then go tell me whose side poverty concentrations they will require a particular set of intervention. As much as that information are available, now so then we make decisions as to which component will be concentrated at which particular district.
That's now the project coordinator for grievance redress mechanism project. Now the Anti-Corruption Commission, Patrick Monrovia, with the talk. Inside the interview to reporter Mastan Sware, Usa say World Bank don't give about $42 million for the government able implement a project we go up for reduce poor and other thing them in the country. The program Good Morning Salon they continue. Inside the program now, let we relax and listen to that they work about.
Another morning again, I say Monday, I say Monday, I say Pambu. I don't know if I don't see Manuela di Biente. I say Manuela, I say I say me top na America, man, I say. I say, when Manuela see me, I say the first way begin talking to work about it say, do ya how you know say me, they invite me because me na mayor electo. Now see how it concern me. I say you tell them say you no go work. Now it bo. Is ya tell them say I no go take otage. But I say, let the padium go the cross first. Now I say, mayor. I say, if you know I make monkey tail touch you, I say, no, that's my Emmanuel. I say, you know I make monkey tail touch you, no dance monkey dance. For me, if I vex pastor what I know they eat fish. I say, Emmanuela Nagial, Manuela Nagial. I say, then tell you for the anti-party activity. I say, talking about anti-party activity, I say, Bobo for a much acting leader in a parliament. Oh, yeah. I mean, the acting opposition leader. I mean, I know me again, man, because later don't go meet him, man. I tell later don't go meet him. Here in Kono Company, I say the CPA discipline committee say then they meet up, then say then get explanation for the man. I say then get explanation for explain how they manage the and for the party say una no go. I say CPA vexo. I say and the letter them vex bad. Then tell them can the committee for can explain. I wonder. I say Bobo for a month. I tell you one where you be don't go one time. This not the two time. I say and the man one thing salary the one man. I understand the dragging by the opposition noisy man. I understand. What yeah the para? I say family. I say why you the kind of thing we got talk. Not a got talk tough. I say go clear some doubt here, something they were been the think, something they were been the imagine. I say go just look it to where na gone man, to where na gone. And he left from for international community for the pick I say hey go. I say come to think of it too. I say Uswana Kakotion. We fall and get me to my go say the United States been the tell and say do ya make that boy no call the election result so now he say I no go able because yanda no to me woko me na independent man and I the left people let them do the work man. Now because of all this make we ask the body make them pull the election results man let them just publish them. Because now they come with little doubt bo. If it's left una photo lab make it fine because now the photo lab na Indian. Me na John Ayubu Akabot.
The program is still listening to now. Good morning. Salon where they can hear from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We still get with studio guests them, Ibrahim Barry, Commissioner from Independent Media Commission, and also the Executive Director for the Institute for Governance Reform, IGR, Andrew Lavali. We did inside the program for talk about survey we didn't do on the economy, elections, and democracy. Earlier we don't talk about the economy. We say 87% of Salon people say the economy bad, and 72% say the Salon they go the wrong direction in terms of the economic management. Now Andrew Lavali will go to the elections quickly. Within this survey, they talk about the election.
Thank you very much. I will just watch on our Facebook. I think it's 98.1 really need for pay attention to trolling. You get people where they actually troll when I guess them where they can. I will watch the number of comments. I see one Aki Dalton in one green send close to 20% of the comments in one, and not just cost will be the cost. And then they actually affect the quality of democracy. It actually dovetail me very well on that democracy. So if we don't get one project in IGR where we look at trolling, we actually look at 10,000 messages where they come up from here and AYV. And because you get people and they just go sit on a room and then they make like say, nah, so that's a public view. That's not public view.
The technical team could deal with that quick one. You
let me finish. Actually, I mean, I think security at the talk is very important for the quality of democracy. So we talk about elections. You see, I will preface this conversation for say you get some people and the moment they talk say, if you talk say I talk to 75% Muslims, 25% Christians, not to anything we're bad. But over time na Salon, people don't so much believe political leaders that even the imam when they talk to them say, you get for go heaven if you do this. The political leader, if you tell them, say, no, now lie that imam they lie. You know, keep trust them. And that one they really end the whole way backwards. Because the one the way they really make people in the suffer, now then they trust past the one that we talk to a lot come out of this. We'll do the thing on the elections. The elections, I will give the background on the controversies the way the elections get. I mean, even among internationals, there is divided. Even locally, we are divided. And if I follow no say, this not to the first election, this will get problem. And Famble for no say, in 1996, Dr. James Jonah, when I be the electoral commissioner, he actually put Tijan Kaba and John Kerry Fasmat. It take 100,000 votes from Tijan Kaba. He give Dr. James Kerry Fasmat. Now being PR system, because that being for allowed John Kerry Fasmat to get more votes so they will get more parliamentary seats. It was difficult. We've been there at war. They accept the result. In 2007, 477 polling stations largely cancelled from Solomon Berra in own stronghold. It was difficult in the Buam. They talk say, congratulations, President Nkrumah. In 2018, in 2012, they come the result, 9, Madam Christiana Top. That time, you know, been get the mandate for Duam. They talk say, they announce the results, go police. We've been get small tension. But President Bio later on, he talks to President Nkrumah, congratulations. So electoral process, no election, no perfect. We electoral process, just like any other electoral process, it get imperfection. So in light of this standoff here, IGL try to understand, in light of all of this, what does this mean for democracy on the election? You have 62% of people, where they talk say, as far as they're concerned, the way they vote, it reflects the hadn't column. The results reflect how they see them. They might be wrong, they might be right, and you not get for talks say no, IGL not for published down there. Then you get 13% will be the talk say no, Dr. Samara Kamara actually win first round.
Okay.
You got another 12%. But then we'll analyze that result by political party. Now 89% of SLPP believe say President Bio actually win first round. You have only 25% of APC now then believe that. You have people in the survey and talk say, me not deny any of them party here. Again, 62% of them believe say the results of the elections now so then see them. The last one now on democracy. We'll look at democracy. We say, because if a country they not believe in democracy, I see President Nkrumah in tweet yesterday, which in tweet day first, which I largely agree with, where he talks that democracy can get challenges, but now we'll get for making stronger. All the way they make calls for ECSL declare their results.
Excuse me.
ECSL declared and data, the courts for be perfect, the courts for be fair to everybody. We dey try for strengthen the quality of our democracy, not that you're not perfect. So you have 91% of Sierra Leoneans and talk say they appreciate democracy. They say clean elections. Now the only way means that they follow change government.
Quick one, time not in our favor. But when we look at the elections, the survey on the elections, what not is been the specific questions that we wanna ask about the elections? And you talk about random sampling survey. How wanna come for segregate APC and SLP?
Okay, so you ask your respondents, you mind for tell we which party you affiliate with? The person say yes, me I affiliate with APC. So then we do analysis now. You actually take that information there, you aggregate, you do analysis on the basis of the response.
If you look at the oppositions, they still reserve their opinion, say the election not credible and they not accept the results. And then they call for things like rerun, independent body for look into the election and also publication of disaggregated data. What did they tell you about the issues that are inside the survey?
No. So it's about what citizens say. So what citizens say is different from what President Bio says.
No, this not the.
Listen to me,
These
right?
are the position
No,
of
what
the
you tell me?
opposition.
What you tell me is the position of the group where they lead the opposition, not to waiting citizens and feel.
So
not to, listen to me, not to waiting everybody in a APC feel. Waiting President Bio they say, not to everybody in a SLPP they say. So what would they do surveys? Would they look? Would they take that one individual, President Bio, in view? Just like where they go vote, in votes and you vote all equal.
Okay. So in this survey, for short, the opinion of the ordinary supporters of the APC different from the leadership.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We'll not test that. If for let somebody say for rerun the election, and for let somebody say no, 25%. It's only 25% of APC, mind you. It's not 50%. It's only 25%. It's up close to 90% of SLPP, about 25% of APC. Now in the talk say no. The way we see the election results, we see and say it's fair, right? So the one that we then get, we then distrust that information, then trust back the information with it, but they equally trust the information with the talk say 90%.
So in terms of the
how much
issues,
percent APC say then trust the results? According to una survey.
I don't tell you, but I say 25%.
so and obviously we're not going to go in depth on that particular area on the survey on the election. Back to the economy status specifically. In all of the survey,
That is where you want to talk about.
no, because we not got enough time. We just get 1 minute to follow the program. And in all of them survey there, so one could wonder waiting the difference of where they lead to in terms of solution of addressing some of the problem. Is it that you survey show how soon the economic challenge or hardship could be reduced?
No, this surveyor is useful now to Ministry of Finance. It's useful to all of the one the way they support the economy for say now the green picture of how the country did. But you know what's not the good news? The good news is with all of this, the Sierra Leoneans they still talk say we believe in democracy. For they get 88%, 87%, down there it above all countries in West Africa. Now only Liberia now get 92% in terms of people and commitment say we get for do free fair elections. But Sierra Leone is way above, it's over 20 points above the West Africa in terms of commitment to democracy. So whilst there is suffering, where we need to attend to the institutions of democracy, they're weak, they're imperfect, but people in talks in the one. And if coming to think of it, if we do our own democracy, what will we get now? Dictatorship, one-man rule, military rule.
Another people they say with the kind of hardship, you think say people go know if democracy they in a very level playing field where so many economic hardship, the people they try, they remember how they for survive.
What do you mean by democracy?
So in the sense that you say the one way you talk, so they say democracy they in the right path. So again,
No, they don't say that.
You say it, you get a percentage. So
No,
at the time for asking now say with the kind of economic hardship, would you think say people are going care about the status of democracy,
So
whether it's doing well or not?
They say it's not about how well democracy is doing or not. Whether it's not democracy you want, because if you replace democracy, you get to replace democracy with one-man rule, with dictatorship, and other things then. But Sierra Leone they talk say, yes, we did in hardship, but we still believe say at the end of every 5 years, we for pin box who that want now for take.
So what's the next for idea on this also?
Well, my team go sit down.
Okay.
Team go sit down and determine that.
Okay, well,
All right,
plenty thank you.
Thank
In name na Angola Valley Executive Director, institutes of governance before we can talk about the survey we do on different in them, but more on the economy, we should see 87% of the country population say the country economy not too easy as a very hard. Over to you quickly, Commissioner from the Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone. After this engagement with some media institution, it's them waiting next of IMC and in particular people here. So
yes, as I said, we have to go back. We learn from this technical conference, and we continue to do our monitoring and capacity building as usual.
Okay, plenty thank you to you. Well, that time he began him by Commissioner at the Independent Media Commission of Sierra Leone. We'll be to talk about engagement we then do with 25 media community radio station them on things that we for make they improve in their broadcasting work. Well, now this edition of the program, good morning, Salongo Lefiu. Plenty thank you to we two gentlemen they will begin at the studio.
Thank you.
Gonna be with guests inside the program this morning.
Well, this program, good morning, Salon Monday edition. Good left you, plenty thank you to we producers them. Michael Sambola, we put the program together. DJ Keman for in technical support. Usman and team we make kuna see live na Facebook. So today Musa Kamadesi bye bye.
And me as up to Kalonda says stay tuned to this frequency and goodbye.
Talking Point platform, TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now. Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.